So what you are looking at right now are newspaper front pages from both in the United States and some are from around the world. They are reporting about what happened that day. So I want you to take a minute, take a look at the front page, read through it. What do you notice? What do you see? And then we'll reconvene. I'll give you a minute or so with it. Take a look. All right, how does the Chicago Sun-Times report about this event?
Well, it's very crowded and it just seems like a big mob and like a whole bunch of riots are going on. It doesn't seem very pleasant. Lots of violence.
Okay. Anything else add to that negative?
And then, like, when it said they waved their American flags, but they were not patriots, and I think they, were trying to show that, their patriotism, but, they were saying they weren't.
Okay. So this is clearly taking an opinion on the protesters' actions that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions that you had or something that you noticed?
I noticed that, just from speaking from observations, that a majority of the crowd is white men, which I kind of thought was interesting. And if I look, there's only one person wearing a mask, which I thought was interesting too.
Yeah, because this is why do you say that?
Well, it's pretty recent after the pandemic.
Yeah, it's in 2021, right? So all right. So what does that maybe indicate to you? You're saying it's mostly white men. Only one person was wearing a mask. What does that make you think?
That, a majority of his supporters kind of just shows what his support group looks like.
Okay. So this is from Mumbai, India. How does this portray the events? How does this report about the events on January 6th?
Okay. So first off, when someone looks at this, they see the title, which says Trump's democracy. Wait, I just had it.
Democracy. It's spelled weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did that make you think anything or ask any questions?
Well, it has mockery in the word, so I guess it's like a strong bad word.
Yeah. What are they kind of implying?
They're saying that he's mocking.
Yeah, I think you might be right. What made it clear to you that they had a negative opinion about this?
The picture is insane. It's
Okay.
things that didn't really happen.
So what makes you say that? You're saying it didn't really happen. Like this, it kind of looks like what is happening?
It exploded.
It exploded, right? Are we familiar with an explosion that day?
No.
Yeah, so that...
The caption.
Well, the caption says what? What does it tell us is actually happening?
Caused by police, something.
If you didn't read that caption really closely, what would you maybe assume?
It's on fire and they're standing in it.
Who might have caused it?
The Trump supporter.
Right, okay.
Well, I'm kind of wondering who actually made it. I know it says the Indian Express, but who was really in on making it?
The front page or
Yeah.
the image?
All of it.
Okay, that's a great question. All right, yeah.
If you wanted, because the internet, you could do a reverse image search and you could actually find the actual image and see how much it's edited because
Sure.
it looks like it's really glitchy on one side and it looks like it's more dramatic than it probably is.
Okay. In many cases, international papers have correspondence sent in other cities around the world. Or again, there's that idea of the Associated Press or there's other newspapers that have reporters there, and then what they do is they sell their story to other newspapers around the world.
And it's kind of hard not to look at, and because you want to see what happened. You want to understand, is it actually falling down or is it just an explosion?
Right. What would we call that online? Something that makes you want to open it up or go to it. You shot right up.
Catfishing.
Well, that's a little different.
Clickbait, yeah.
Clickbait, yeah. Catfishing is when it's one thing, but it turns out to be something else. But yeah, it's like clickbait, yeah.
Wouldn't this be like what we read yesterday about yellow journalism?
It could be. What makes you say that? Tell me more.
Well, it's kind of where they use kind of like over the top, kind of exaggerated kind of titles and word phrases to.
Yeah, and you guys have sort of implied there's some exaggeration, there's some drama, right? Okay, yeah.
This is a great example of card stacking, I think.
Why?
Because it's showing all of the negatives, and actually it's mudslinging too, because it's saying Trump's democracy. Because it's saying that he's mocking the very way of American government.
Okay.
And at the bottom, like the middle one, kind of looks like a meme.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Like a meme.
The middle one?
Yeah.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
Because like the font and how it's set up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the font size and the way, yeah, that bolded white font. Fascinating. Who agrees that you see? Interesting. Do you think that was done purposefully?
Yeah.
Why?
To mock
Oh, well, let's go.
to mock the United States.
Interesting. So why? Why do memes mock?
Sometimes they're meant to mock a certain figure or a certain like idea.
Okay.
Memes are usually made to like bring joke to or kind of like make something less serious or more funny. So I feel like, especially for that middle one, it works perfectly because they're kind of calling America a joke, so they're framing it as a
Oh,
meme.
interesting. Okay. Do we see differences between the international down here and the domestic, we would call it domestic, or in the United States?
On the bottom international ones, you see a lot of like the USA, like or America,
Okay.
and they are kind of claiming or showing that trying to show that America is kind of a disaster.
Okay.
The top newspapers are kind of focused on that specific event, but the bottom is just focused on America as a whole.
Okay. What might account for that difference? Why might there be a difference? Like you guys said, the international papers focus more on the U.S. in general, and the domestic papers are focused on more specific issues. Why? Yeah?
So maybe newspapers from other countries will want to make U.S. seem like it's in a mess right now and the whole thing's corrupted, and then maybe for newspapers that are focusing on the event is mostly saying, oh, what's about this event? It's not really saying that the whole U.S.
Okay. All right.
I feel like they might go more at America as a whole because people in other countries aren't going to feel bothered or see the importance in events such as these.
Yeah,
Because
like
it-
specific events
because it doesn't-
related to
It
like
doesn't affect them.
political parties. They want a broader. Is that what you're saying?
They don't need the internal affairs.
Okay. All right. Yep.
And maybe in the other countries, political like riots like this don't really happen. So it's kind of a way to bring that country up and the USA down.
Okay. Fascinating. Great. Thank you very much.